Ah, the golden retriever. You know that face. It's pretty much the symbol of the perfect family dog, right? Friendly, loyal, just gorgeous. And for decades, they've been one of the most beloved breeds on the entire planet. But behind that happy-go-lucky golden smile, there's a really serious and confusing problem brewing.
Yeah, that beloved dog is in trouble. So we're going to dig into the history, the science, the whole story to try and figure out this central mystery. How did one of the most popular dogs in the world end up in a health crisis that's literally shortening its life?
And the numbers, they don't lie. They're pretty stark. If you go back to the 1970s, it wasn't weird at all for a golden retriever to live a good long life of 16, maybe even 17 years. But today, that average has just plummeted. Most Goldens now live for only 10 to 12 years. We're talking a loss of almost a third of their lifespan in just a few decades. It's a huge drop.
So what's going on? Well, the main reason for this decline is even more alarming. Today, a staggering 65% of golden retrievers will die from cancer. That rate is so much higher than for most other dog breeds, and it points to a deep underlying issue. So to really get this, we've got to go back, way back, to the very beginning.
To really understand what's happening today, we have to travel back in time to 19th century Scotland. We're headed to the rugged Highlands, where this breed was, and I mean this, meticulously engineered for a very specific job.
The man behind it all was Dudley Marjoribanks, the first Lord Tweedmouth. Now, he wasn't just breeding dogs randomly. The guy had a vision. He wanted to create the perfect retriever, one that was tough enough for that rough Scottish weather, a genius at retrieving birds from the water, and, of course, an amazing companion.
And here's how it all went down. The journey starts in 1854 at his estate. But the key moment, the real start, was in 1868 with that very first planned litter. Now get this, it then took over 40 years for the breed to even be recognized by the UK Kennel Club in 1911. The American Kennel Club didn't make it official until 1932. This was a long, slow, very deliberate process.
And the whole thing started with just 2 dogs. Lord Tweedmouth got his hands on this unique yellow, wavy-coated retriever named Nous, and he bred him with a Tweed Water Spaniel named Belle. That's a breed that's actually extinct now, but they were known for being incredible in the water. That first litter gave us 3 little yellow puppies: Cowslip, Crocus, and Primrose. And here's the wild part. Every single golden retriever on Earth today can trace its family tree right back to this very specific, very small foundation.
But then, as the breed's popularity just exploded, especially over in America, that single vision, it started to split. 2 completely different paths emerged, and they ended up creating 2 very different kinds of golden retrievers.
And you can see that split so clearly right here. On one side, you've got the field golden. These guys were bred for performance. They're leaner, more athletic, and have way more energy. They're the true descendants of Lord Tweedmouth's working dogs. But on the other side, you've got the show golden, bred for what's called conformation to the breed's standards. They're bigger, with that beautiful full coat, and a much more relaxed, calm temperament. They make amazing family pets and therapy dogs.
And this brings us right back to our central problem. This history of selective breeding, this intense focus on either perfecting a look for the show ring or dialing in a specific drive for the field, well, it's all come at a really steep genetic price.
I mean, think about it. The entire breed started from just a handful of dogs. Then, as certain dogs with those perfect traits started winning championships, they became what are known as popular sires. They get bred over and over and over again. It's just the culture of dog shows, right? A winning dog's genes are suddenly incredibly valuable. But what this does is shrink the gene pool dramatically. And when you have a smaller gene pool, any hidden genes for inherited diseases suddenly become concentrated and way more
And the result is, well, it's a pretty daunting list of potential health issues. This is just a partial list from the UC Davis veterinary panel. You see everything from eye diseases that can cause blindness to all sorts of severe neurologic disorders that affect a dog's ability to even walk. It's a crystal clear sign of how narrowing that gene pool creates all these vulnerabilities, and it goes way beyond just the cancer risk.
Let's just zoom in on one of these, ichthyosis. It's a painful genetic skin disease where the dog's skin is constantly scaling and uncomfortable. Now, it's not always life-threatening, but it's a chronic condition that just shows how a single bad gene passed down through generations can become widespread and really diminish the quality of life for thousands and thousands of dogs.
Okay, but the story does not end in crisis. Not by a long shot. The very same scientific tools that helped us figure out these problems, they're now being used to find solutions.
Researchers, dedicated breeders, and owners, they are all fighting back to restore this breed's health.
And a huge part of this effort is something called the Golden Retriever Lifetime Study. This is a massive project. They're tracking over 3,000 Goldens for their entire lives. By collecting just tons and tons of data on their genetics, their diet, their environment, scientists are literally hunting for the specific factors that lead to cancer and other diseases, all with the goal of figuring out how to prevent them.
And you know what? There have been some real breakthroughs. Just recently, researchers at UC Davis found a specific version of a gene called HER4, and the results are incredible. Golden retrievers that had this gene variant lived on average to be 13.5 years old. The ones without it, they only lived to 11.6. That is a nearly 2-year difference, linked to a single gene. This isn't just a clue, it's a potential roadmap for breeders to start actively selecting for longevity, not just for looks or skin.
And while the scientists are working on that huge genetic puzzle, there are absolutely things owners can do right now. Proactive care is everything. That means regular vet checkups to catch things early, a high-quality diet to keep them at a healthy weight, consistent exercise for their body, and plenty of mental stimulation, puzzles, training to keep their brilliant minds sharp. At the end of the day, the story of the Golden Retriever is really a powerful look in the mirror at our relationship with dogs. It forces all of us to ask a really fundamental question. In the 100-plus years since Lord Tweedmouth created his perfect retriever, our priorities have clearly shifted. And as we look to the future, we have to decide what matters most. Are we trying to create a dog that wins in the field, a dog that wins in the show ring, or simply a dog that gets to live a long, happy, and healthy life?